time for the next presentation. Please give a hand for Vincent Mayers.
Am I hot? Can you all hear me? I was going to do a selfie on stage, but I can't see anything. You guys should come up here and try this. You can't see anything. No. No, I mean, what's the point? Anyway, we'll try it. Everybody does it, it's my turn. All right. Thanks for coming to this little talk. So, code confidence and self-doubt, breaking imposter syndrome in tech. My name is Vincent Mayers, and I am an imposter. Okay? Why? I'm not a software engineer. I went to art school for 4 years. I have a degree in pottery. However, I run the Atlanta Java Users Group in the US. I run the DevNexus conference, which is like this, but in Atlanta. I'm a Java champion. I'm on the steering committee of MicroProfile, and I'm a conference speaker. How'd that happen? Am I an imposter? I don't know. Has anyone ever heard of the fight or flight response? A few people? Okay. So the fight or flight response it's the body's kind of instinctive reaction to perceived threats, okay? And it activates a psychological change for defense or escape. Now, there's a connection, okay, between the fight or flight response and imposter syndrome. Both involve the body's response to perceived threats. What are perceived threats? People can feel that they're inadequate or that they don't deserve their success, which they perceive as a threat to their self-image or social standing, okay? There's many examples of this. Who's ever competed in a sport? Anyone? Okay, the feeling that you get when you're on the starting line or the starting blocks, you want to go, but you also want to run away in the other direction, not down the track. Fight or flight. It's uncomfortable. Speaking at a conference, this is Sheryl Sandberg. Anyone know who Sheryl Sandberg is? Former CEO of Meta. Has publicly stated that she feels like an imposter sometimes. And sitting through a code review. Who sat through a code review and gone, oh God, I do not want to be here? Anybody? And who sat through a code review and gone, yes, let's look at my code? Fight or flight. So the brain interprets these situations as stress-inducing, okay? The amygdala, which is like, it's this tiny thing, it's like this pea in the middle of the brain, okay? It triggers the amygdala to activate this flight or fight response, even though there's no actual physical threat. Some very prominent examples, Albert Einstein, okay? These are all quotes, right? The exaggerated esteem of which my life's work is held makes me feel very ill at ease. I feel compelled to think of myself as an involuntary swindler. Michelle Obama. I still have a little bit of imposter syndrome. It never goes away. That feeling that you shouldn't take me seriously. What do I know? Serena Williams. I always feel like I'm not good enough. I don't belong. I always feel that I need to do more and more to prove myself. Okay? But in reality, imposter syndrome is an illusion. It's an illusion of our own making. It can be a good thing, okay, as long as you lean into it. Lean into the fight response and away from the flight response. It can push you to excel. Who knows this guy? Henry Ford. Very famous quote. I love this quote. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Think about that for a minute. In my own life, my own examples, I've felt this on the start line, okay? Every time I sat on I used to be an athlete, this was my sport. Every time I sat on a start line, I'm like, I want to go, I want to race, I want to run away. The first time I ever spoke at a conference was at a keynote at Java 1, or Code 1, rather. That was a little bit nerve-wracking, I must admit, okay? So I've felt these examples myself in my own life, this kind of fight or flight. But how do you overcome imposter syndrome, okay? And how do you embrace this fight response? I want to talk about the speaker unconference scenario, okay? I was at actually JFocus last year, and at the speaker unconference after, one of the sessions that someone talked about was imposter syndrome. And I can't talk about Quarkus or Valhalla or something. I'm not an engineer. But I joined this one, and I found it very, very interesting and insightful to understand how many of the people that you will see on stage here in this room feel this way. They feel like imposters. Okay? Now, the way to get over this is to, number one, accept that you will never be the smartest person in the room, ever, in this scenario. As a speaker, you do not need to be an expert at all. You just need to be knowledgeable, informed, and passionate. You don't need to impact everybody in a room of whatever size it is. If, as a speaker, you've positively affected one person, your job is done. Well done. Any more than that? Congratulations. But you don't need to impact the entire room to have done your job as a speaker. And again, this is just my perspective, okay? And that aha moment that affects that one person, it's probably not going to be about the latest innovation in whatever that you're talking about. It's going to be some basic concept, unit testing, design patterns, what have you, that you've reminded them of the importance of. And they go, yes, I need to do more than that. And they go back, and they do more than that. And that impacts their life more than any talk that they went to that week. It's amazing how that happens. But most importantly, and this is for all of you, okay, you're unique. No one else has the life experiences that inform what you're saying and who you are. No one. This uniqueness, okay, is what makes you qualified to be in those situations, in sport, in the code review, on the stage. Everyone can learn from this. In summary, you are unique. You've got to embrace your strengths and lean into those fears, and you will never, ever feel like an imposter. Thank you. Now I don't know what to do now, because it says I've got 5 minutes left. I'll answer any question. I'll answer a question if someone has a question. Nope. The gentleman in the red shirt at the front. So the question was, you're an athlete, and through multiple competitions, did you feel the fight or flight response every single time that you sat on that start line? Or did it lessen? It never went away. It never went away. It never went away because it was important to me. Okay, it was important to me to be there and to do the best that I could. You know, whether I won a race or not, it didn't matter. Okay, I wanted to have the best race I possibly could. And no, from a 15-year competitive career, every single time, there's butterflies in the stomach. But as I said, they can push you to excel if you embrace them and lean into them. Someone has a question, and I can't see who it is, so please just shout it. The third astronaut in Apollo 11? Astronaut number 3? I don't know. Does somebody want a mic? All right. Again, thank you very much.